Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of sketching and painting of a few of the flowers, perennial flowers that I have in my gardens. Hey Kathy, hey Lena, Judy. It's a beautiful day, a little bit hot here, but I went out this morning and picked just a few things. So these are called phlox, David. And then I just got some Queen Anne's lace that was in the back, an area that I don't weed because I like the weeds to print. So I've left them. And this one is an open one. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to try and draw these. I really like how they close. Quite different. And then this is Marlowe, it's called, and it's growing wild in the back too. And then we've got two types of echinacea. And I can't tell you the specific type they are. Tags are long gone. And then I just picked a little thing of tomato. So the leaf and just a few little tomatoes on it with one flower, just to draw those. And kind of the different stages. And I'm going to do this in my art folder. So I think what I'm going to do is put it on some Bristol paper, and then I'm going to make some, what do you call them? Waterfall hinge, so I can put a few in one page. And I think I'll make the hinge out of two-sided paper, so it looks nice on both sides. And I just thought I'd do a little bit of a review of what I've been doing. Last week we did this, the little fairies. Let's see. And it turned out, I put a little bit of marker in here, as you can see, afterwards. This was acrylic. And a little bit of colored pencil for the wings and such. But it turned out neat. And then just some scrapbook paper. So that's my July folder. And I did this. I had a play session, an art session with Lena last week. And this is what I did. So it was originally, these were napkin, and then I painted over them. And this was a face that was out of a magazine, and I also painted over it. And then I added leaves and whatever. And then I decided to put this on her, kind of like a little veil over her face. And it's just, all it is tissue paper from the dollar store. So it was very see-through, but it had these neat little polka dots of foil. Thanks, Lena. Yeah, you remember when I was saying I was going to put maybe a veil or something over her face, so I decided to go for it. What the hey? May as well. I can remember when my sister and I were real little, we used to get sheets and we'd throw over we had a pool table down in our basement, and we used to put the sheets over it so it'd be like a little covered area, and we pretend we were in a harem and we'd have these veils on. Kind of brought back that memory. So I thought, you just do stuff that brings back neat memories. So I'll probably write about it maybe in here somewhere or down here. And then let's see. That was one of the not the last, but the time 1 week before last week's lesson. And this was actually, I put it out on Tuesday. So if you're in the membership, and that's the second and third tier, so second tier, this is for you too. So it is up on the membership page. The list for everything is in a link that you can download. So the traceable, the reference photo, and the supply list. And I saw Lena already did it, and it was awesome, Lena. You did an excellent job. And it was fun. It was textured paste. You can use whatever you have on hand. You don't have to get this. I had these. They're not Scrabble pieces, but you could use Scrabble pieces. And this is just cardboard with some textured paste through a stencil. And there's a map in the background here, textured paste for the waves, and another stencil. You can put shells, sand, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, the textured paste really gives it a neat feeling, an extra dimension. So try it out, guys. It's fun. It wasn't hard at all, I promise. It was very easy to do. Of my mom's clothes. You did too, Dot. Yeah, we had great imaginations back then. We didn't have all this electronics to keep us busy. We used our imaginations to play. I think it's kind of sad that we do have all this electronics because it stopped people from using their imagination, especially kids. And you did the same, Judy? Yeah, it was great. I used to love it. So yeah, that was on a cardboard. So if you want to use cardboard, like a really stiff cardboard, you could even do it on that. So try it. It's fun. And and also I do have, for those that aren't in the membership, I did do a separate copy, but in sped up with music. So you will be able to see that next week. And I will have a traceable for the first level if you want to try it. So look for that next Tuesday. I'll put it up on next Tuesday. All right. So this was the August. Oh, actually, I think I'll show you. I did get some stuff. It's not much, but it'll give you an indication of where I'm headed this month in my art creativity. So I did get some of the new Liquitex acrylic ink in the new, what is it called? Muted colors. And I've got some ideas for coloring paper. So it may not be what you're thinking I'm going to use it for. But it is going to be fun. They are pretty. So let's see. Muted violet. Muted pink. And then there's the white. muted green, muted gray, and muted turquoise. So these were going to be fun to play with, I think. Hey, Janet. Hi, everyone that came in. If I missed you. Candy. Dot. So I'm going to use these in a little bit of a different way. Kind of, shall I say it? Something that Eileen would probably do. So they are nice. They're like they're not like neon bright. You know, the chroma isn't really like so bright that your eyes can hardly. That's pretty. See, that's like a plum. That's nice. That one's the violet. So I'm going to use them for coloring papers for a project that I'm going to do. Oh, that's pretty. Now that's a nice pink. Now I think Eileen would actually like that one. It's not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. That's pretty. It's a nice purple. Yeah, that's a nice purple. That's, what is that one? They're calling that muted gray. I would say it's more purple than gray. Huh. So I just thought I'd show you those. So anyone watching the recording or haven't subbed, if you want to see what I'm going to do, just press the bell so you'll get notified. Then, I don't know if Eileen's here. I got 5 pounds of plasticine. And you're probably thinking, what in God's name is she going to be doing with that? Well, I'm going to do a little bit of sculpting. And then I'm going to use this art plaster. Yep. I'm going to do some plaster molds. I'm going to make some plaques. Yeah, it's named after Yelena. So it's going to be fun. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So this is plasticine. So it's a non-hardening clay. It's a molding clay. I was going to get actual clay, but I want to reuse it. Oh, yes, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to involve some of my plants. Maybe bark or rocks. It's going to be cool. Eileen, look what I got. Look what I have. There's going to be some fun times ahead. You can use them with a dip pen, which you can't do with paint unless you water it down. Yeah, plasticine. up and coming projects I'm going to be doing. So stay tuned. All right, so I don't know what I'm going to put inside. Right now I'm going to do some of these. I'm going to sketch some of these, and I'm going to sketch them on a Bristol. So this is what I'm using, the Canson's Bristol. It's 96 pound, 9 by 12. And I cut one in half because I want to be able to put it in my folder here. So it'll go like that. So my idea is to have it put in like a waterfall. So maybe 3 I could put on each side, so that when you flip them, they'll be like in a waterfall. So there is a rough side and a smooth side to this. Depending on the look you want, I like using the smooth side for drawing and painting, especially botanicals. So let me see, pen out or pencil out here. I just have a mechanical pencil. Now, let's see what one we could do. If you want to join me in sketching, I will put it out on the table so we can all do it. I had them in water for the morning, so they should be fairly fresh. I'm probably going to have to do it. Let's see, we'll put it on this side maybe. Or like that. I'm going to do mine like that. So it's up to you how you want to do them. You can take do you want me to zoom in so you can take a screenshot? Let me know. From your beautiful garden. Yes, these are from my garden. So these are echinacea, they're called, but I don't know the there's so many different types of echinacea. I'm not sure what this one is. Before they were just pink. Now you can get them so many colors. It's crazy. You want a screenshot? Because I can do that for you. Just a minute. Is that good for you? Take a screenshot. Okay. I'll just leave it like this for now. I guess I should have it up here. That way I can do it this way. All right, so what I'm drawing, it won't look the same to you because I'm seeing it on an angle. So just to let you know. Let's see. And it'll be a little bit smaller. So you just draw what you see, basically. Drawing stuff like this, you kind of have to start with the foreground. So it would be these petals, then that, then these petals on the bottom. So I don't see any over there. This comes down. Very small, narrow. I've got some foreshortening in this one. I can see. And then I see the backs of these ones back in here. Now the only thing about streaming and trying to sketch is you have to concentrate. And I can't concentrate and talk at the same time. Okay, that's there. We have these, see, whatever they're called. Just a few in here. And that goes like this. So I'm just going to go to about here. So I have, let's see, this. So it's going to go to about here. I do use erasers. So, interesting thing about this plant are the leaves. Is the main veining goes right down into the stem, and the leaf tends to bring this out a little more, follow the stem part way down, which is different. And then it just has offshoots of that veining that follow the edge of the leaf as it goes up. And then just a few off sections, very, very lightly put in. And they're not necessarily parallel to each other. And then there's just a little one. And the veining are very bright in color too in them. This one, small one, doesn't have as much veining. I think I'll just put this one in here. And this one. Is slightly folded. Now, if you really want to pay attention, there is an actual pattern to all of this. I'm not sure. These are stamens. Not sure. Because I know each one of these is actually an individual flower in itself. But there is a pattern to that. It's quite neat. And it kind of goes in a pattern like this. So this would be the start here. And it goes almost in a V. The way they are. It's quite interesting. It'd be, however you're looking at it, your V would be your focal point. So wherever the little dots, depending on how technical you're going to get it with this, you've got a line to follow the dots. And the petals even have lines in them. All right. So now, and I think what I'm going to do is probably paint it first. Now you can use watercolor, or you could use an ink, or you could use washes of acrylic. I think I'm going to try the acrylic for this one, just because I haven't done it for a while. I've done lots of watercolor ones, so I'm going to try the acrylic wash on it. So I've got some glazing medium here, and I'm going to use, maybe I better get a new one. I'm going to use let's see, that one's a little better. Oh, here, I've got a plate I can use. That way you can see what I'm doing. All right, I've got some dairy lead yellow. That might be too orangey though. Let's see what else I got. I think a cadmium yellow dark will do better. I can play with that. And I'm gonna use a lot of acrylic glazing in it. So I want a fairly small brush. Let's see. Okay, I have this Filbert. It's a number 4. Let me check. Okay, any questions before I start? I'm not putting you to sleep. So I'm going to put just a light coat on first. So I'm going to dip my brush into the glazing medium, add a little color, and right in underneath the bottom are a lot lighter. So they can be probably the lightest part. And this one here. So it's just faint. Do you want me, Lena, are you done? Can I go in a little bit? Sorry, Kathy was busy watching what you... Okay, I'll bring you guys in so you can see what I'm doing. So just move that a little bit. You're doing inks and watercolor? Awesome. Can't wait to see it. All right, so I'm going to add a little more color to this top part. And the nice thing about the glaze is you can see your pattern through it. So I'm going to probably go in afterwards with, I have a, I think it's a Derwent. Where are they? Yeah, graph ink to do my sketching when I'm done. So it's kind of like the watercolor sketch and a wash of color on it. So any kind of details you want to put on it, you can use that. And you don't have to just use one color. You could actually go in with greens or golds, that type of thing. You can get them in all kinds of colors. Okay, so inside the base of this is a green. So, and it's quite dark actually. I'm going to try a sap green because it's fairly dark. And I'm going to put a really light wash in of green in the center. Well, not wash. Well, I don't know what you call this, a wash or what. coating, I guess. I don't know. Wouldn't be classed as a wash really, but. And then these leaves, or whatever they are, on the bottom here can actually be done in the full color because they're really dark. And that's when you need a really good sharp edge to your paintbrush. And there's actual lines in the stem of the flower. You may have to go in with a pen or now. Can take some more. I'm going to take some of that green and I'm going to mix a little of that yellow with it to make it a lighter green. And I'm going to use that for going over top of this here. So glazing over top of that other green. Okay. I think I'll put a little bit darker in the center here. I may have to go in with a marker. This would be good for Poscas, this part of the flower, because of the spikes in it. Let me think. I think I do have a, okay, I do have a Sharpie poster paint. You could use that. See how it goes. Hopefully it works. I don't think I have any other markers. Let's see if it works or not. I'll dry it first. And if not, I'll have to go in with a white and then do a coat of color on top of it. So let's see if this works or not. It's not bad. I don't think I'm gonna have to go in with white. Looks like. Oh well. So I'll go in with white, dry it, and then go back over it with a glaze. So I'm just shaking up my pen. That's just one of these fine tip paint pens. And I did lose my I have to redo my lines. So there is a direction of these things. And they're more clustered as you get to the outer edge. And that's what gives you the form of the shape of the flower head, gives it dimension. It's kind of like doing whiskers. You make them more concentrated around the edges. Okay, now we have to dry that. Now we take a nice wash of that yellow. Matter of fact, it's a little bit on the orangey side actually. So I'm going to take some of this other yellow because it's a little more orange. And just make sure I have a lot of medium here to mix it in. So then you just take and you just go over it. It almost could be a little bit darker. I think I need a little darker. Maybe some nickel azul yellow. Thanks, Joan. This should do it. So some glazing medium and just a smidge. No, that's more yellow. I need orange, I think. Try this one. Just need a smidge. I could mix just to tap this in. Yeah, that's better. Needs to dry a bit, I think. It's not going on properly. It's getting there. Dry it. Try again. Just make the edge a little rough looking. All right. There's a little bit of a shadow in here, and that's more green. So right in here. And this one. Yeah, so it really it depends on how much detail you want. If you're doing just something to make a, I don't know, record of your garden, and it's not like going to be hanging on a wall or anything. Just you don't need a whole lot of detail unless that's something you're looking at, questioning or whatever. Totally up to you how much detail you want to put in. Nothing says you have to be very detailed. It's up to you. All right, so now let's do these leaves. So they're fairly dark. And I might go in with a marker and do the actual veining because it's very, very fine. And then it's fairly light. The stem itself is fairly light. Not a whole lot. I could actually go darker in here. Let's see if I put a little green, make it a little more on the browny green side. That'll work. So to make it that green a little darker, you just add a little bit of the red or orange to it. And it'll go a nice dark olive color. Probably could do these again, or I might just end up using my pen. There is some shadowing in here. And this goes down to there. This gets fairly dark in here. All right. Now, let's dry it. Hey, Devin. All right. Now, I'm just going to take this graph ink, and it's 0.3, and it is sepia. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of darkening in some areas in here, just to show a little bit more definition. Hopefully this will work. So I don't think I have a pen that I can use. This is very, very fine, but so just a few lines to show where things are. I might put a few marks in here just to show the spikiness of the flower. To keep wiping off the pen. It's picking up the acrylic, and if you don't wipe it off, it will stop working. Might have to get another one out. It looks like, let's see what else I can find here. Let's try that yellow for the center lines. You could use colored pencils if it was the what do you call it? Craft paint. But this was the acrylic paint, so it's got a kind of a gloss effect to it, so that's why. A little hard to work with. So if you got a magic marker, or not a magic marker, paint pens that are very, guess I could go over it with the white one instead. Okay. Maybe a little bit of shadowing in here. A little darker in here. I need more of this veining. All right, so far, let's dry that. And we can put a little bit of, I think, maybe some white. Or I wonder, no, I'll try this. Just in here where the veining gets highlighted a bit. Yeah, I just smudge it with my finger. And think that's it. I just got paint all over my wrist. All right, that's number one. All right, I'll zoom you guys out a little bit so I can get this all in. There. This is an echinacea, the yellow form. I don't know what type it is of echinacea, but it's the yellow one. You know how there's like, I don't know how many, hundreds of them now. So you just see, I just put just a bit of line work in, not a lot. If you like more, you can put more in. So I can write echinacea on the side or whatever you want to fancy it up. And then I'll put this in my art folder. You're welcome, Devin. Now, I thought, let's see, is this, oh, it's a little bit smaller, I guess. Make it. I have all this black paper. So I may as well use some of it. So I thought we could do let's see, maybe the phlox, the white phlox in it, or the Queen Anne's lace. Maybe the phlox. So if anyone wants to art along, I will put it out in front here. And you can take a screenshot of it. So if you're going to art along, take a screenshot and then I will put it back up in the glass so I can draw it. This one I'm going to do on black paper. And I think I might maybe use some colored pencil and paint with this one. Okay, anyone else need this picture? Hey, Shelly. Yes, I love phlox too. This is the one David, it's called. Grows like crazy. Okay. Let me know if you need another screenshot. So let's see what we can do here. So it has, I'll take a flower off. So those are the petals. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little petals, and they're kind of interlinked together in the center. So, and they overlap each other. And they're on a kind of a tube shape. And the center is kind of got a little bit of yellow in there. Not much. It's got a little bit of wave to the petal, so you might want to, depending on how much you want to do this. So I think I'm going to use a where did I put them? A white pastel pencil for this. Hope I put it back in here somewhere. I might have to use chalk. Or a light gray would work. I must put it somewhere. I put it in the box. I'll use this gray, I guess. It should work. All right. All right. So what I'm going to do is just basically put a bunch of circles in, different shapes, ovals. Just to where I think some of these are going. So the ones that are standing out the most. Some overlap. And there. Some in here. And then I'll see little buds. Some background ones. And then this comes up. And then I have a bunch of green. And leaf. These are fairly... They're opposite each other. It's kind of cool. Let's see. Does it smell good, the phlox? It smells like a flower shop. It reminds me of a flower shop when I smell it. Kind of like carnations. Did you see what? Did I have a spider crawling around? You never know. All right, so let's see. They'll have a little center in there. Just looking at where some of these centers would be. If I see them. Alrighty. Like that and that one. All right. That's that. Now, I'm going to put I'm thinking. I'm going to see if any of my colored pencils can go on this. Let's see. It is a really nice green, kind of very clean green. So let's try this on the back of this paper here. It does go on, but it's not as bright as I want, so I might have to go a brighter green. Let's see. It's not bad. That's nice. Okay. Between these two, I guess. I'm just going to go over my stems and stuff first, and then I'm going to use the paint. Got a big fly in the house. It's bugging me. So you can see a lot of stems and stuff inside the flower area. So that's pretty good. Now, I can go in with a darker, let's see what this does. Top. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I can use this just to give it a little bit of shading. And so the little buds on the ends here. I can go in the center here with some paint. Let's see, there was a few in here. Right here. All right. These will do those leaves now. I need a really light part. They also have a really bright veining. And they actually curve. And let's see. Darker. No, I don't want blue. That's not really doing it. Any questions? Well, I have my head up. You could use the black of this paper too, as part of the shading process. All right, let's get some. It's not white, it should be more of a cream. But I'm going to use a craft paint for this because it's more opaque. And this is called cool white. So it's not a real white. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a filbert brush that this one should do. So this is the number 8. Seems a little bit stiff for some reason. And then I'm just going to try and put in there. So see how I went around and it overlapped? And I'm using the black as part of the shading. I should do the back ones first. Let's see. This hasn't got a really good chisel tip on it. It must be an old one. But
And you can always go back over them too if you don't like them. Oh, this fly's going to drive me up a wall. And then we'll dry that, and then we'll do a little bit of highlighting. All right, I'm gonna see, get my smaller one out. It's got a nicer chisel on it. And I'll just do a few highlights. Let's see. Just around the certain edges. Suppose you could probably, because it's craft paint, you could probably use your colored pencils too. Do some of these over top just to brighten those up. Some of them will be brighter than others. So some of them are coming out more.
Then I'm just going to take a little bit of this white and just slightly color the centers just a bit, because I want to put some yellow in here. So let's see, where did I put that? So it won't be as bright. And just tap it to smush it. There. Let's see if we can brighten these leaves up a little bit. Let's see. So just with a little bit of paint over top of it, just brightens it up a bit. And let's put a little bit of a highlight on the stem here, just a smidge. Let's mix it with some yellow. Here. Thanks, Joan. So let's dry that. And then I'm just going to take my cloth here. It's a little bit damp. And I can go over it and take away any of the pastel. There. So you can use the black to kind of help you with the colors. So it kind of gives you shading in a way. Put some tubes. Here. Here we go. So a little bit of paint over top of the pencil crayon helps it brighten it up a little bit. Now I could take one of these if you wanted to emphasize where the shadowed areas are. Just do that. Well, it depends how much you want to get detailed in it. So that was that on paper. I kind of like doing it on the black, actually. It's a lot easier because you get your instant shadow on it as well. And you're able to use your craft paint. And when you do that, you're able to use colored pencil. So it depends on what you like doing. Maybe you like to do the glazing. It has its benefits too, but this also has benefits. So, you know, one of this, one of the other type of thing. Thanks, guys. So I hope you try it. Go out and doesn't matter, even if it's a weed, go out and see what you can do with it. Bring one in. You don't have to sit outside if you don't want to. And put it in a glass of water and try and sketch it. If you don't have paints, just use colored pencils or just do it in graphite or charcoal just to get used to drawing something that you see. And put it in a folder like this so we can see your progress in the months to come. It's a lot of fun to see how much advanced you become when you keep drawing every week. You just did, you know what? I know a lot of you're kind of a little leery about drawing or you're very critical of yourself. Try taking a flower, don't even think of color, and do a rough drawing of it. What I want you to do is find a flower and draw the shapes you see first. So if you have this, you would take it and use a pencil. Don't draw it with ink because you're not that sure of yourself right now. So what you would do, let's say if we put it like this. So I'm looking at my monitor, so I'm seeing what you're seeing. So we have a circle. And then from here, we have petals that go out. Like this. Then we have, you can take your petals and section them off. So that one has 3. And then this one has 2. And there's a little tiny one here. That's all you have to do to start. When you do it with a pencil, Then you can go back in and start defining the shape of each petal. But you know where it is right now. Let's see. So that would come down here, the stem. So then you can erase any areas that you want to erase. So you start erasing your circle because you don't need that anymore. You know where your petals are going to be. How far they are from each other, you've already put that in. So this is a great way to start. Get used to it. This is the same type of flower as that yellow one, Lena. It's just a pink one. But they are cool. I really like them. They've got such neat heads on them. This one's a little older, so it's not looking as definite. You couldn't see as this one. See how you see the pattern in these? They go a certain way. Same with sunflowers. They do the same thing. But once it gets to a certain age, they lose that because they're pollinated. So they just kind of look scruffy. Yeah, kind of. So, pick weeds. I even pick these. Because these have a certain pattern to them. That's what I like looking at. So with this is one of the simplest ones you can draw. It's just a bunch of speckles and then lines. These are great to do. And this would be neat on black paper too. This is one that's finished flowering. So I like, look at isn't that cool? How they kind of close up in the center. Almost like a little fairy dress. See? It's a fairy dress. I should make a fairy out of one of these. Draw it. Or it could be the little hat for the fairy, and her face could be in there. Isn't that great? I love these. I love looking at flowers, and there's such unusual shapes, like this one here. Marlowe, it's called. Where's that book? I have a really neat book. Where is it? If you like, this is an awesome book. And it's all black and white, and it's just pictures of botany. And up close, so the shapes of stuff. Like, look at the formation of this. It almost looks like a little building. And these are different weeds and pods and seed heads, but they're amazing. Absolutely amazing. These would be great for if you're trying to get ideas to make creatures, because you could use this as a leg, or actually a lot of people use forms like this. They studied plants and made wrought iron. But I think they're just like, look at the little faces. There's a fairy face right in the branch. It's a horse chestnut branch. That's from a purple lotus. Or you could use them as knobbly little legs. There's some claws you could make. I think these are, I just love stuff like this. Like this would be beautiful in wrought iron. Gorgeous shapes. Look at these leaves. It's a nettle. It's called a common chili nettle. These are from the pumpkin stems. Yeah, when the pictures are all black, white, yeah, it does stand out. Monk's hood leaf. They don't even look real. They're so perfect. Nature is just amazing. Like, look at this. Can't you see wrought iron or brocade done from this type of thing? You can make stamps, stencils. Look at that. That's from a larkspur. From a thistle. Larkspur when it's dried up. I think they're just amazing. I love this book. And look at the vining stuff. Vines. I think that's amazing too. Yeah, they do. They look like metal sculptures. And the fern heads, fiddle heads. A weeping forsythia before it's budded or flowered. But you could get all kinds of ideas with this type of thing. Take a look at that. That's gorgeous. Even that, I could see drawing that and then have a fairy face right in here. This is cool. Finger cups, it's called. Yeah, it almost looks like from a different planet. Like I could see making creatures out of these things. Like there's a creature right there with two hands and his head. Yeah, great doodle inspiration. Thistles. Seeds. Poppy seeds. That's Marlowe. The seed head. Poppy seeds. Different flowers. Yeah, so it's amazing when you take the time, as I say, take the time and smell the roses. Smell your garden. Take a look at them. Sit in front or pick a bouquet and draw it. It's amazing what's there. But we've gotten to a point where we are so busy we don't take that time anymore. And it's such a shame. So that's about it for me. Where did I put that other one? Oh, there it is. So there's the two I did. So you can do it on black paper. You can use paint. This one's all paint and marker, and this one's color pencil and craft paint. This one's the more glazes. So experiment. It might even be neat to do one in pastels in the black paper, or charcoal would be nice too. So for all those that want to get the traceable for this week's project on the membership, the first level that get the just the traceable, it will be going up on Tuesday of next week. So I will post it on the community links if you want it. And the video will also be going up on Tuesday, but it will be the sped up version with music. So I'll leave you with that. And I want you guys to get creative. Go out, draw something. You don't have to show it, but you just have to do it to get better. Oh, you're welcome, Joan. Okay, Devin. Thanks for coming, everybody, and stay creative, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.